Hi, so today I'm going to be making a custom order for somebody who sent me, well actually her mum has sent me a embroidery that was done by her mother to make a bag for her granddaughter. I'm going to read the note. This is for Annie Peterson. Her grandmother Rosemary, my mother, embroidered this when living in Australia many years ago. Rosemary passed away in July. She embroidered many pieces, but this is a very special way to preserve this one. Some Australian themed fabric with eucalyptus leaves or butterbrush flowers would suit it as an accompaniment. Thank you. The Australian themed fabric does slightly concern me, as obviously I am working with only second-hand fabrics that I've kind of got. I did, on the off chance, have a quick look on eBay, see if they might have anyone selling second-hand bit of eucalyptus or bottle brush fabric. I mean, that was a bit of a long shot. Worth a try. Anyway, needless to say, didn't really find anything there, but I'm going to have a very, very good route around in all of my fabrics and see what we've got. I'll just show you the embroidery. How sweet is this? I love this stitch. What is this called, where it's kind of little bobbly bits? I really like that. So yeah, it's going to be a kind of, I think Annie's wanting, that's the granddaughter, a kind of circular shoulder bag crossbody scenario. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to try and look for some fabrics now. I kind of think like a stone wash denim would look quite nice. I'm not sure if I've got any, although I've got dark grey, which might be quite nice. I want it to look smart. The only thing with using a pair of trousers though is that you can't get kind of a long enough piece to get the strap out of, I find. And then it might start to look a bit bitty. I kind of want the strap to be kind of want the whole thing to be quite smart, so it doesn't have too much of that, although I love it. Like, I don't want it to be too handmade-y, if you know what I mean. That makes at all sense. Of course it is going to be handmade, but dark navy wax cotton. I've just been using it so much recently though. I've also got this, and it's much thicker, like heavyweight wax cotton in black. Now I don't often make black bags, so that's, although I am looking at it now thinking it might be quite smart looking. And this is really stiff, which is good for a circle bag because you want to do all you can to kind of hold the shape. However, I don't know if someone would be disappointed, do you know what I mean? Because I'm not really known for making black bags. But the more I look at it, I am kind of thinking, oh, I could make it really nice, could make it look really nice. Okay, well that's an option. I'll keep my kind of thinking cap on, but now I'm going to start the look for some Australian fabric. My geography is not great. I don't feel like I've ever come across any kind of kangaroo, or bottle brush, eucalyptus, any of that kind of jazz. This reminds me, I picked this up yesterday from upstairs because it kind of reminded me of when we were at school and you did like Aboriginal art, which I'm sure was Australian, but I don't think that's right. Okay, I'm thinking as long as it's not too Englishy, like these kind of things, they're quite Englishy, sweet little flower. I can see where this is going. This is just going to be me looking at every fabric and being like, actually, I think that looks Australian. I mean, I don't know about Australian, but this is it's definitely not English. What have we got? We've got some like bird of paradise and these flowers. No eucalyptus. Could be a slight possibility. The other thing is it's got to go with the embroidery. Englishy, although that is actually French. Oh, I was thinking, what's that? Abisto. I don't know why, but I'm kind of thinking I might keep that one out. Echinacea. It's got a couple of possibilities. Like there's the tropical one, but I'm kind of not feeling that so much to go with this. Like to go with the embroidery. This, or what was the other one? One of these two I'm feeling a bit more perhaps this one. Don't ask me why I'm feeling this Australian vibes from this. It's been quite an extensive search and I don't know what's what anymore. But I think this is quite nice. I quite like it. I do have this box which I'm like hesitant to open because I know I'm just going to be here all day. It's packed to the rafters full of really lovely kind of bigger scraps. I thought maybe I could find something like some kind of small scrap that has something to do with Australia. I mean, I don't know what I'm hoping to find, kind of kangaroo or something. But I mean, how to not get distracted. Look how lovely. Just samples of fuchsias. Okay, right, come on. These are really cute little Laura Ashley. Quite rare, so I hear through the grapevine. Oh, vegetables. Oh my god, sweet corn. Right, I'm gonna have to do some kind of vegetable thing, but anyway, not for now. If only that was a kangaroo. Oh, I love that fabric. I love that. I feel like I have actually convinced myself this is quite Australian looking now. I think if I am gonna go with the black, which I'm kind of leaning towards, that and that and that, I mean, it seems a bit random, but in my head I'm thinking it might work. What I'm going to try and go for is a really clean, smart look. Her grandmother's, I'd quite like it to be quite a wearable thing that you could wear quite regularly, you know. Quite hard because I just don't know what this Annie, I don't know what she's like, you know. She might be kind of the loudest dresser ever or not. So just got to kind of. And so what I'm thinking as well is with the black of having some nice like silver hardware, get some nice maybe chunky silver zip and try and put the detail in with that. I quite like that. One zip, so there'll be one zip along the top. I might put a zip in the back circle bit, in which case that's quite nice. Or this, I love that as well, and it kind of matches that a little bit. I'm going to make a pattern now for this. It's quite a big circle, so I mean, quite a big bag. Is it? I think it might. Okay, I'm just going to try to see if I can find anything circular to make my life a little bit easier. Okay, I've got a couple of plates. I mean, that is going to be way too small. And okay, I thought this was going to be massive, but that's perfect actually, because it's actually slightly not circular, so I can even that off. Great, so I'm going to use this plate to make my pattern. I'm going to draw it straight onto interfacing, I think. Okay, 79. I'm just measuring so I can make some sides up as well. So that's 79. So 4 centimetres for the seam allowance, 83 divided by 2. Basically, if this makes sense, where you've got the circle, and you're going to want one piece which is going to have your zip in and one piece which is going to be the other half. You want the bottom half to be longer than the bit with your zip in, because if it's kind of equal, your bag can flip whilst you're wearing it, if that makes sense. So just if that makes sense, that's a tip. If not, let's move on. Okay, so basically I'm thinking I'm going to want one strip, 51 centimetres, 132. How deep am I going to want it? How deep is your bag? Is it quite big? I think once the seam allowance has been taken away, it won't be as big. You're not going to want it much more deep than that, I would say. 8 centimetres, so let's say 10. Okay, 2 centimetres for the strap. Oh, this is the best tape measure because it's really long. So at least that, and then you want it to double back a little bit. Okay, 160. Any more measurements? Any more for any more? Strap, back, sides. Good. Okay, I'm gonna cut some stuff out now. Okay, so since I did this last on my last video, this is my 4th attempt. To be honest, the 2 I did in between my last video and this one were worse than my first one, so yeah, Don't expect big improvements. Basically, if you didn't watch my last video, I'm just trying to use this time that I make a coffee every day to kind of hone a new skill. Here we go. I'm trying to make a heart. Kind of have no idea what I'm doing. Right, from like that. Yeah, this is gonna work. Ooh, oh no. Okay. Like that. They're getting worse, actually. Give it a bit of that. Apparently what you meant to do is kind of pour it from a height, so it goes underneath the coffee, and then you kind of pull it out at the end and do that. They make it look really easy on the YouTube video, but as always next time. Someone at my partner's work was giving this away. I mean, it's a bit confusing because it's like, why? For something that's so versatile, you know, like, why would you not just keep it? I mean, it's good for me. So I'm going to do some piping out of the black as well. I'm going all kind of sleek and simple and stylish with this one, which is not always kind of how I do things. And it's a bit of a like, it's like kind of not taking risks feels riskier. I think I've got all my bits and pieces now. So what have I got here? I've got 2 bits of bias wax cotton that I'm going to pipe the front and back with. Okay, so here's the back. I'm going to put a pocket. This is an extra kind of little detail. I mean, that will be on the inside. You'll just see the zip from the outside. That'll be the lining for the front. Zip pocket, that zip. I'm going to put that in. Okay, here's my top and bottom side pieces. This is actually top, so I'm going to cut this in half, because that piece is going to have my zip in. That's why I'm cutting that in half. That zip in there. That's my bottom piece. This is my strap. So I've already just ironed 1 centimetre of each of that down, and then press that over with a kind of slight kind of lip on one side, so that side will be neater. Okay, so I've just put, this is going to be the lining of the back piece, little zip pocket in there. Because with a circle bag, I always feel a little bit like as soon as gravity takes hold, it can kind of become more of an oblong bag. I found some of this upstairs. It's kind of like a really thick kind of felt stiff thing, and so I've just cut a piece out of there, minus the seam allowance, and I'm going to wedge that between my lining and my embroidery. So hopefully that will be enough to hold its shape, which it feels pretty sturdy. So I've got high hopes for that. Sewing my piping. I always start stitching like a little bit of the way down, because you're going to be wanting to faff around and fold the ends anyway, so I would just start from about there. I've left it a bit loose at the end there as well. I never know how much you can see. So I'm going to trim the seam allowance, so from the stitching, 1 centimetre away from the stitching, and then because it's a circle, I'm going to be sewing it around a circle. I'm going to just do a snip about every centimetre like that. Okay, so on the back of this pocket, I've used the wax cotton to like for the kind of front, because you can see a bit of it through there, and I didn't want to risk seeing any of the lining. I am going to kind of back the pocket with this lining, so that when you open it, it'll be like that, which will be quite nice, I think. So there's the back. Okay, and now I can actually put my other back lining piece on top of there. Attach those together now. So, to pipe this, and I'm gonna just cut that straight first of all. Fold the end of the kind of the binding fabric bit over. Can have that out there, and put the start of that on the bottom point. I'm going to start a couple of centimetres or so away from there, so I'm going to start like here. Because this is 1 centimetre, I've trimmed that now. I can line that up with the edge of my fabric piece, my embroidery, trying not to stretch it. Okay, so then when I come to this bit, I'm going to take this bit of the piping cord and snip that away, keep that folded over, and then lay this, your longer piece, over. I wonder if you can see. So lay this piece over until it reaches the other piece of cord that you've just snipped, and snip that to the same length so that you can kind of wedge that one up to meet that one there. And then pull that a little bit, make sure it's tight. You can just fold this piece over there and sew right over. And that's how you get like a nice and neat finish there at the bottom. And that looks quite sweet already, kind of framed, doesn't it? I think the black's going to look quite nice. Ooh, okay. I'll pipe the back piece now. About 4:30. Once again, not going to finish today, but never mind. So I've got these two pieces piped and lined, and I've got my zip put in on this bit, and there's my strap. I've just top stitched that. Probably can't see because it's black, but quite a thin strap because I used to make them a bit thick. I didn't really like how they looked, and then when I was out and about, you know, you start noticing other people's bags, and I was like, oh, they've all got thin straps, and I think that kind of looks a bit nicer. But I mean, as I say, this is a big bag, but I think that should be okay. Okay, so what I'm going to do actually is I'm going to measure from the bottom all the way around that stitch line that I've stitched the piping on, because I just want to double check that these two are going to add up once I've sewn them together to that exact measurement, because it really needs to be precise when you've got piping in. Obviously you can't really shuffle it about anywhere, so and you don't really want to be easing anything in and make, you know, you want a nice really clean finish. So if it is, now's a good time really, because if it is, obviously where I've not sewn them together, I've got 4 centimetres of seam allowance to play with on there. So quick measure, should be 79, shouldn't it? 70, 79 and a half it says, but I think I'm just going to sew these together. Let's just make sure these are the right length. 51 plus 31 and a half. We're missing 1/2 centimetre on there, and we've gained 1/2 centimetre on there. Well, where's my measurements? Confused myself now, haven't I? Did I say that was 82 and a half? No, it's 79.5. So this should be some quite simple maths. 82 take away 79 is 3. Okay, 3. Actually, I'm glad I did that, because somewhere a centimetre has gone away. So instead of this being, it would be 4 centimetres seam allowance if you add up all the ones. I'm going to have to kind of wangle that into 3, so small maths. So 0.75, yeah. So basically, instead of a centimetre seam allowance, 0.75. Okay, that makes sense. It starts turning into a bit of a dangerous game when my maths have to get involved, I'll tell you that. Ah, I've not put the strap in. Okay. Okay, so on one side, I just want to make a little thing for the D-ring, like that. Make sure it's right central. It sounded really northern then. Make sure it's in the middle. Being wary of, I've got a right and wrong side, so that's the right side, facing up. What did I say? Make sure it's right central. So now back to the machinio. Okay, I'm going to have to stop for today, and I'll carry on with this tomorrow. So where I'm at, I've got this, which hopefully is the exact same size as this and this. So tomorrow I'll just be popping that on there, that on there. I've got these bias strips as well, which I've cut so I can bind them off with that, which I think will be quite pretty looking. We'll be on tenterhooks to see if that fits. The good thing, obviously, the best thing about me running over to tomorrow is that tonight I will be watching some very mesmerising videos of latte art, and then tomorrow I will wow you with my latte art. I'm sure. Okay, I'll see you tomorrow, or in a few moments for you.
bonus round. I didn't want to.
Let's go. I think I need something with a spout. There's like a big deal being made about doing the milk properly, but I've not really got a choice in that. Just do that. Just got that. But I have got a milk jug which I've warmed up a little bit to put the milk in, so that I've got a spout. I don't know why this. Why does this make me feel nervous? Basically, I feel like I watch this video and I'm like, yeah, that looks so easy. And then when I get here, I just can't remember diddly squat of what is actually said. But milk at that angle, get it in. Okay, let's go. Let's do this. Get that bit stirring. So it's half full. You might need to stir that to get the canvas right. Okay, then close to the cup with wiggling movement on the milk. Yes. Okay, and then okay. Not quite what I was aiming for, but to be honest, pretty good. Okay, let's just, I don't know what's going on there. An improvement, strangely enough, that is actually. Still gonna have to give it a bit of that. But that was an improvement. I'm happy with that. I'm actually pretty chuffed with that. I realise it looks rubbish, but it's improvement. And that's all we can hope for, really. So the reason why I'm actually making this video is to finish this bag. So yeah, I was having to think about it last night, as you do, and I'm really happy with the decision to go black. I know it seems like not a big deal. The way that the kind of cotton's really thick and waxed, it's kind of taken on a bit of a leathery essence, and that's pretty nice. So what I'm going to do now, I'm really enjoying making this, I think, because it's a nice thing to do as well, because of obviously somebody's grandmother made this embroidery, and I'm making it into something that they can wear and take around. Like, that's obviously a nice feeling, and also I think it's also looking quite nice. I'm going to do the tedious kind of thing, see it a bit more on this side, of snipping 1 centimetre, little snips every centimetre. So that's quite tedious, but at least I've got a coffee. Okay, so now I've done that, what's quite important here, very important, is to make sure, well, you want your top and bottom, so the centre of that to be at the top and all of that, and most importantly, the 2 sides to be at exactly the same point, so that you don't have a kind of, otherwise your bag will end up wonky. So I'm going to mark the top and bottom. So from the top to the side seam should be about 14.5 centimetres. So I'm also going to mark that on. And then I'm going to put this one on top and mark the same. I should be able to place this on top and just kind of pin at those points, and then hopefully it will fit like a glove. Actually, I'm going to need a thimble. Okay, that fits like a glove. So I'm going to sew that on, and then I'm going to do the same with the back. Sew that on, and then I've got some of this wire strip, which I'll sew around there. Make it all look nice and neat, and then we're pretty much there. Just got to add that after that. Okay, so I've bound off all the edges, I've put it all together, And now I'm going to turn it inside out. The best bit. Where's my little thing? Just remind me of a time when I made a bag. I think it was a circle bag like this once, and then when I turned it inside out, I realised I'd cut the strap. Instead of like what I guess I thought was going to be 150 centimetres, I did it 50 centimetres. So that and so that was not a good day. You know, when I put these three fabrics together, they didn't look like good on the table, but I had a feeling. I was thinking, I think they're going to be all right. Now, I'm pretty happy. I love the black. I think it does have this kind of leather look, and it brings the bag. I mean, I am going to sound like a granny saying this, but looking like less granny and a bit more trendy. Who even uses that word anymore? But do you know what I mean? I think it's quite stylish. Is that a word people use? I think that padding's worked well. It feels robust, which is good. All I've got to do now is put this on. Basically, what I'm going to do is just test out the length. Okay, well I think the strap length's quite good because you can wear it like that, wear it like this. I mean, I thought it was really big, but I think it's quite a nice kind of, with a circle shape, it's quite unhandy. So it's quite good to have it big actually, because you can fit like probably a book in there. Yeah, you know. So yeah, I like that. And then you've got loads of kind of wiggle room. Pin. There's a pin in there. If you want to make it a bit longer, a bit shorter. Okay, cool. So I'm just gonna sew this little square up and then we are done. It feels really nice. Okay, so let's have a look. You see what I mean about the kind of leathery look of the wax cotton? I really like that. It's got a feel. It's really strong and robust as well. So we've got a nice little pocket there on the back. Look in here. I do really love this lining. I don't know how much it's got to do with Australia, but it feels, I mean, it feels tropical to me, and Australia is tropical to me, so. A little pocket there. Quite a lot of room for kind of wee bits and bobs. Feels like a really nice, good, sturdy bag. I hope Annie likes it. Thank you for watching again, or first time, whatever. Thank you for watching.